Welcome to all of you who have joined us today for this insightful webinar on competitive programming. It's an absolute pleasure to extend a special welcome to Ms. Vijayalakshmi Sasidharan, a distinguished T24 techno-functional consultant with a wealth of experience and expertise. As we delve into the world of competitive programming, Ms. Vijayalakshmi's experience serves as an inspiration. Her 14 plus years of excellence in the T24 domain, her adaptability, and her dedication to honing her craft reflect the very essence of competitive spirit we are here to explore. While her expertise has spanned architecture, customization, production support, and beyond, Ms. Vijayalakshmi's presence today adds a unique aspect to our discussion. Her journey from the intricate world of P24 to competitive programming showcases the amount of skills that a true professional can possess. Let's make the most of the opportunity to learn from both the world of competitive programming and experience of Ms. Vijayalakshmi. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Ms. Vijayalakshmi.
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So, how this session the students, I'm speaking to you all. So, can I expect some response and interaction with me? Can I get some response?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Let's have this session as much interactive as possible. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
let it not be yet another lecture that you listen in college. I just don't want to go for a lecture. Let's have some interactive session, make it fruitful to both of us. Okay, so you will learn something from me and I will also get some information from you, so that will be good for both of us. Okay. And today actually I'm going to present the competitive programming session. I'm not going to teach any kind of programming here. Okay, I would like to introduce how you will be coming to the industry and how you will be received, what skills you need to possess when you come to industry. This is the way I would like to take it forward. Okay, so if you have any kind of questions, as and when you stop me and ask me there, and I will try to answer as much as I can. Okay, so give me a minute. I will open PPT. Okay. I believe all of you are from IT background, right?
No, ma'am. Ladies.
AI as well. Okay. Okay, so can I expect you all know some kind of programming language by this time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's get into the topic. Okay, so the my agenda is to give some introduction about competitive programming and what is the primary goals of it, and how it can help you to work in a industrial environment. What would be the approach that you need to follow? Okay, and finally some of the industrial exposure from my side. I'm trying to open. Okay, so what is competitive programming? You have any idea like what exactly you are going to hear from this session, or any kind of idea that you have? No? Can I take it? No? Okay. So, okay, as competitive programming, as name suggests, it is like a sport, or you compete with someone. Okay, so you are trying to compete in a competitive world, in the world of programming. So this is basically like a sport that you do with your peers and see how you are performing and others are performing. So this is the kind of environment that you will be having. Actually, I had prepared a ppt to show you how the flow goes. I'm just trying to open it and it is not opening. Give me a minute, I'll try to see what exactly is going on. Give me a moment, I'll join from another laptop. This is not opening, so just a minute, I'll join from another laptop. Okay. Hi, sorry for the break. Okay, shall we continue from here? So, can you all see my screen?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see now? Hello? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So, let's proceed. So, as I told before, this is the agenda of this program. So, introduction about competitive programming and primary goals of it, and how do we start, and what is the approach, and then the industry experience from my side. Okay. So this I have already told what is competitive programming. It's a sport or competition that you do with along with your peers to do to solve the particular problem with your own algorithm within a limited time and space. Okay, so how you do it and how will you approach that, we'll see that. I believe that everybody would have been involved in programming by now, as all of you from IT background, and I'm not sure how the AI background is there, but I'm expecting some kind of programming involved in AI right now itself, right? Okay. So the primary goals of competitive programming is to test your problem solving skills and knowledge of algorithm that you have, and ability to write efficient code to solve the problem. So all together you are going to solve the problem using the algorithm, and by writing the efficient code with a language, programming language that you already know. Okay, this is the primary goal. The primary main goal is to solve the problem. How do you solve that problem is all the process. Okay, uh, and the prerequisite for this activity is that you know some language, programming language, and understanding of data structures and algorithms are mandatory. Like, it is not like you have to know every algorithm, and you have to be thorough with everything, data structures, all. It's not like that. So for the starter, you should know the basics, like how the what are the data types that you may be using, and what are the algorithms you may be required. Like, if you know while loop, for loop, like if and you know, like how to write a program in any language, then you will start when you start thinking logically, you will find that you will arrive at the solutions with your own algorithm. So it is not like you should be having thorough understanding of all these things. No, for to start with, you should have basic understanding. And how do we start? First, start learning a programming language. It can be any kind of language. There is no restriction that you should know this language, that language. No, you should know at least one language that where you should be comfortable. So if you already do not know, start learning a language. Okay, and then writing code is not going to be overnight process. You should be practicing it on a daily basis. So for that, you should always practice. So it is going to be a daily process or a week, 2 days once. So you should start practicing in your own language. You take simple problems from the internet, or from your programming guides that you have, or whatever, wherever. Pick up the problems wherever and try solving it, and then you will you'll get to that. So this practice will help you to write better code. And as I said, learn some of the data structures and algorithms. I mean, start from there. So you need to know all these things to implement the code. You cannot implement in code without idea of all these things. So you should be having basic idea, and I'm sure that it should have been covered in your syllabus. Am I right? Can I get some response? Is it there in your syllabus right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So in that case, you must be having some idea of how you are going to do the programming with this background, right? So you try to solve the problems on online platforms. There are many more online platforms available to solve the problems. So you start getting into that, get exposure, and see how you are doing. So this is the starting way. Okay, so to get practice, you need some platform. So you, instead of you finding the problems, there are problems available in the internet to see and to solve. So try to get into that, so you will have some idea of what is programming and how you, I mean, basically you must have known programming by now. So competitive programming is a term, it's a fancy term used to make yourself competitive to the industry. Okay, so competitive to the world around you, and see how you can be best at what you are doing. So this is it. So you already, if you already have started programming, then it is good, and you can start doing it from now also. And then participate in the code challenges or short contests wherever it is held. There are contests held at college level, at inter college level, and obviously it is available in the online platforms. So you start participating in the short contests. What I'm telling now is relatable to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Shall we go to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so next is how do we approach it? Like before you approach the programming, I mean, competitive programming world, what are the languages that you have? I mean, the options of the languages that you start with. Okay, I would suggest C and C++, the first one, because these are the middle level language. This is not like super high level language. It is not like lower language like assembly language. It has its own complexities, and it has its own uh, concepts. So C and C++ are base. Okay, if you have not started already, you can start now. And then uh, uh, if you are doing already good in some other language like Java or Python, it is also good. It is not like you should start only with C and C++. You can do with any other also, but you should be doing something. So if you're planning to start with, then you can start with C++. And each language has its own plus and minus. And I can tell you some of the experiences from my side, like how the language is being used in different places. So basically C and C++ are for training purposes right now for you, but in industry it is being used in the system programmings. Basically system programming and application programming by now you should have known, I think. Is my understanding or expectation right, or should you need any explanation? Can I expect some response? It's not audible to me. Somebody is saying something. Okay, so I presume that you have basic understanding. Let me give a brief of what is system programming and application programming. If you are not aware of it already, system programming is mainly used for building the system softwares. What is system software? System software is a software that is being used to I mean, it is built to make another system to run, right? For example, OS and compilers, assemblers are all system softwares. So to build all these system softwares, we are using system programming languages. Okay, so C is a strong system programming language. So if you are interested in getting into that line of programming, you should consider learning C first, and then you can go ahead with the rest of the languages. So rest of the, like for example, Java is already is widely used mainly for the enterprise application developments, and JavaScript is being used for the interactive web devices, web services, and web developments. And C Sharp is being used for the application and web developments. Python is mainly used in AI and machine learning, and also for the scripting. So these are the and SQL is being used mainly to access the DBMS data. Eloquently, you can do that data access from each and every database, right? So SQL is mainly used for the MS SQL database and Oracle database, something like DBMS related stuff. You want to do some kind of development, you will be using that language. So each language has its own purpose, and learning any language would be helpful to you. Okay, I'll come to that point. How you may not learn all the languages, right? How you are going to survive in the industry, that we'll see. Okay, and data structures algorithm is, it looks like difficult. I mean, I felt like that when I was in college. How do you feel? Data structures and algorithm, you find it easy or difficult, or how do you I mean, how do you describe it? Hello?
It's
Please,
easy,
please
ma'am,
make
but
it
we need more
interactive.
practice.
No, no, I don't hear anything, please.
And it's easy, but we need more practice.
Yes, it is actually easy when you do more practice. Quite often, if you do practice, start practicing the programming, these things will come in handy when you do that. But if you study that as a theoretical subject, you will find it very difficult. Actually, I felt that way when I was in college. So it is not that much difficult when we come out and do start working. So if I had this exposure of competitive programming, probably it would have been different scenario. But even then we were doing programming a lot when compared to others. We had an opportunity to go with the company like there was an MOU between one company and college, so we had to do the final year project to that company. Okay, so we were doing a programming lot in the final year. After final year, I mean, for example, after third year, so from the whole final year we were doing programming. But these subjects come in fourth sem, something like this. But at that time I felt, what is this, what is that, like that. But later on, when you start doing the programming, you will find it very easy. So that is what I wanted to insist. You start practicing with any kind of programming language, then these things will come in handy. So on top of that, you start reading, and you will get to it very quickly. Okay, and next is, how do we approach a problem? That is the most important thing. First thing is that problem here could be any kind of requirement. Okay, it's not that program only or the problem only. It's going to be any kind of requirement you will receive from the other party who is asking you to do. So you understand the problem or the requirement, what is being requested and what we are delivering. This is the basic understanding of the problem. Then you use all your past practices, like whatever you did in the for practicing, all those things will come in handy when you approach a problem. So use those ideas and past experiences and try to solve that problem. This would be the most optimum method to solve the problem in an easy way. If you already know the logic of some problem that you are approaching, then it would be easier for you. So then you start writing algorithms. Okay, so you approach the problem with your mind. You are not going to go anywhere and do some kind of work. So it is a totally mind game. So you understand the problem, and you think of the roadmap, how you are going to solve this problem using your own experience which you achieved before, and write the algorithm. Forget like word of algorithm, all those things. How you are going to solve this problem, write it down. Like you think you think like you are telling it to somebody in front of you, and imagine that person does not know anything. So that is computer. So that computer does not know anything unless you tell something. So you start telling that you are going to do this, do this, do this to solve this problem. So each and every step you write it in your simple English language and see how you are arriving to that solution. So if your logic is entirely correct, then writing language is just like coming to that syntax and semantic part only. So you know the libraries of the languages, like whichever language you learn, standard libraries will be there. So you know the functions available in that library and how you are going to achieve that function, that with the algorithm you have written is the art. So writing algorithm is the most important part in this programming world. So write the algorithms, how you are going to solve it, and then approach the program. I mean, get into writing the program. So before writing the logic of the program, you cannot you cannot touch the system to write the program. So this is how you should start writing the code. Before writing the code, I usually uh, when we started working in the first company, we usually write say for about 50 lines. First 50 lines will be having only about the program, not the program itself, only about the program. What is the purpose of this program, why are we writing this program, who is writing the program, all those will come in header. Like what is the who is the author, who is all, I mean history will come. If somebody else is coming and seeing that program, they should understand the purpose of the program and with what logic it was written and what could have gone wrong if there is some issue. So you should always consider writing algorithms in that way. If somebody, you imagine that you are working in a company and you are going to leave that company after 5 years. Nobody is going to stay in a company for a long time, it is very rare case. Okay, so imagine you are going to stay there for 5 years, maximum 10 years. But imagine a bank is having one software and that is using software for a long time. Okay, they will not go for the I mean they will not change their softwares quite often. So in that case, somebody has written the program and they went away, then the other person who is coming in and seeing that program will not understand what is the logic behind it. And what, I mean, it is not easy when you have complex codes. So it is better to write the program, write the algorithm first before writing the program. Do you get something here? Can I take it like you are understanding this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so and the last part I mentioned as learning. Okay, learning is something that knowledge gained through all this process, right? So this process keeps it is going to continue. So you solved the problem and you have written the code and you tested it out and it is running properly. Now that you have gained a knowledge, you gained knowledge and you gained an experience from this from this part of activity. So this will be used for the next thing. So this activity is going to be cyclical. So you have to be following this, then you will be in a better position to proceed further with every time you write the code. Correct? Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so this is how you will be achieving a I mean approaching a problem and doing the activities. So this is going to be cyclical and this is going to be a learning process all through the life. Okay, so if you are working and if you are working or not working, it depends, but learning is going to be there all the time in whichever way you are living. So this is applicable for competitive programming as well. So you have to keep learning and applying that again and again. This is going to be this will be continuing forever. And next thing is mental state. I wanted to insist on this part, mental state. Okay, actually as I mentioned before, this is going to be a mind game, correct? So you have to keep yourself cool whenever you are given an problem, or say you are working in a production issue. Okay, so for example you are in production support, for example Production support means you are working in a live environment. What is live environment? There is real life problems happening there. That is live environment. Okay, so if there is a problem, and if you keep yourself cool, your mind will think free. So you will be clearly thinking what the problem is and what should be the solution. So if you think you are in a stressed out position, take some time short breaks and do come back after 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and see how you can approach the problem. And if you are in a live environment, there are chances of stresses, because always there will be somebody who got affected. That is when the problem comes, right? So the pressure will come from the other party who has got affected, and they will put the pressure to the software company. I mean, it is going to be whether you are in the product company, or you are at the client side, or you are with the product service, I mean services company. It all depends where you are sitting. But production support, generally when you are with client, and the entire pressure will come to you. So at that time, you should not take all those to head. You just think how to solve that problem. Think of the problem and think of the solution, and go ahead with the problem solving method only. Don't get freaked out. Fear is the most problematic thing here. Do not afraid, do not get freaked out, and be confident that you are approaching the problem in a better way. So this confidence and thinking clearly is very very important to write the program. Okay, and then the problem's solution will come automatically. The first thing is, the person who is sitting or approaching the problem should be able to handle the situation properly. This is the important thing. Have you ever thought of the environments like this while doing the programs in your labs? Okay, let me give you a real life sample. Okay, for example, you are doing transaction in a bank. You are transferring money from your account, and you are making it as standing order. Okay, so what is standing order? You are telling the bank to debit some amount from your account and credit to that opposite party on this date, particular date. Okay, so make it less. For example, take billings. It happens in the particular date, right? So this billing is deducted from your account, but it is not hit in the other party's account. What will happen? You will go to the bank and you will shout, right? This is the first point, that the problem reporting point. Okay, so that will come to whoever is behind the scene in handling the production issues, will get that pressure directly from the bank person. Is it right or not?
Right, ma'am.
So imagine yourself there, and how will you what will be your mind, what will be your state of mind at that time? You may think like there is something wrong in the system, or maybe I have made some mistake. Some kind of this kind of thought, or the fear that comes first, will be ruining the situation. So you should not think of the problem, how it happened, why it happened. All those analysis should be done, but you should not think of the root cause is the something that you can avoid or something like that. It is like a different scenario. So you have to think yourself as the solver. You are not owning the product. You are not something you can do something about that person. No, you cannot. All that you can think is how this happened, how the system went wrong. All that is how you have to think, and keep yourself cool and think about the problem and solution only. So this is the major issue in the software industry. Most of the times people get affected by the situation that comes in, and this leads to different problems. So always, as a programmer, you should think about the problem and solution. Do not go further, do not go lower. So this would help you in long run. And I just wanted to ask you, how can you be competitive? How can you be competitive? So to be competitive, you should have a competition, right? So you must be having some friends, at least in college level for sure, but everybody will be having different kind of interest. So you have people around you with similar interest and group up, like maximum 3 to 6 people would be okay to form a group and take some problems, or make it like a fun game, and take one of the problem from internet and try to solve it in your own way, and see how you are doing with your peers. Like in this way, when you do, like maybe you are now in third year or second year, whatever, but after 2 years, if you have this practice, okay, maybe you do this once in a week. If you have more time, you can do it daily basis also. Make it like a habit. Maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes would be okay. Like it all depends on your availability, maximum time you have now. So you can spend about 1 hour for on a daily basis, and see how you are doing. So take one problem and see how you are approaching, and let other people also do the same thing, and see at the end you see the solution as well as the way to the solution. So you see how the steps are done by others. So in this way you will learn from others, and others will learn from you. So both of you all of you will be competitive to each other in long run. So this will be most effective method in college, particularly instead of doing it in online. Online platform is one way that you can do always, but when you have similar interest people along with you, and you know them personally, and that kind of connection between, this activity will help you improve both technically as well as emotionally. You will become friends together for a long time. So this will also help you uh, to handle people. Like maybe you will be having, this is a kind of setup you will enjoy most. Okay. And then you practice this comes together actually. Group up and practice. This should be consistently done. The consistency is the key for all the activities. So you do this continuously, and see how you are doing, how others are doing. This is going to be fun, and also a healthy competition. Any questions or any kind of doubts you have here, or how do you find this now? Like can I have some kind of interaction now? No questions, no interactions? You think of me as your lecturer? I'm just your senior. Okay, so think like just your next door person and ask anything you want to ask related to this topic. No? Okay, should I proceed or not?
Yes, ma'am.
You guys are attending some class now? Okay. So there are online platforms. Okay, so these are some samples I have just noted it. You can start practicing this programmings in Coding Ninjas, Code Chef, Top Coder, Code Forces. All these are having contests. They have contests on a frequent monthly basis, twice a week, something like this. So you look for opportunities and participate in the contests and see how you are doing. But one thing is, make sure that you are not cheating yourself while doing or participating in the competitions. Maybe I mean, when you participate, you might have somebody else near you, and you do not ask help from anyone. Maybe you are doing, I mean, you are participating to the contest, in the contest with your friends. Something like that will not help you. Like, do not get help from anybody when you are participating in the contest, even if such opportunities are available. But I think all these platforms are having some ratings also, but don't worry about the ratings. Either it is going down or up, you do the practice. Actually, there is a platform, I mean, every platform has practice sessions also, and also contests. So practice you can do always, contest comes as and when. So whenever it comes, you participate, but do not think about the ratings. Do thinking about ratings and cheating yourself about ratings going down up is not, I mean, even if you're doing uh, with your low rating also, it is okay, you keep doing that. And this sorry, somebody is saying something. So you keep doing that, and that will help you in long run. So as I said before, you are in second year, third year now. You should be you should be a better programmer by the end of the final year when you do this as a practice. It will become a habit now. Okay, so this you try doing it. Okay, how it helps you in your career? How, I mean, when you get into the industry, how does it help you to handle the situations and do the work properly or better way? First thing is, when you get into the company, either IT products company or services company, or in the client environment where there is software installed. Okay, either way, I mean, wherever you go, you will not be alone. You should be working with the people around you in a team. So this grouping up and practicing here in college will help you to do the teamwork in a better way. You will be able to coordinate with the team members very very closely, and you can communicate with them clearly. All that team activities starts from here. So this grouping up activity will help you in the teamwork, and the practice that you are doing will be helping you to solve the problems easier way, in a easier way. And also, since you are doing this like a habit, it will become a disciplined activity, and your focus will be much better than others who have not practiced it in this way. And you will be a fast programmer. You will be able to solve the problems very quickly. So these are the major advantages that you get by doing this activity through groups. Okay, so when I mean group, you are with your peers, not with somebody else. So you know the person personally, and you will know the situation to handle with every person will be having different behaviors. So like, I mean you do not have to worry about how this team will be, that team will be like that. That kind of thinking will not cross, because you have been practicing this for a long time. You will be able to manage the situation all the time. That is the main advantage. And you will be able to solve the complicated problems also easily, because you are practicing so competitive programming is nothing but programming it in a competitive way. So you competitive comes as a competitive, the term competitive is used to make you uh, worth to the uh, competitive world of programming. So you should be concentrating on the programming, and also competing with each other will give you better results, right? And when you do it on a frequent basis, or the like, as a practice, when you do it in a habitual way, you will not have more errors. So you will minimize the errors while doing the programming. And as I mentioned, the programs are all mind games. So you should be able to manage the stressful situations whenever it comes. So when you have practice of doing it, the program, I mean, when you have the practice of programming, you will be able to think through the situation, like what exactly you are doing, and then you will be able to manage that situation, and also always manage the time and meet the deadlines. So you when you do that is why I mentioned the term competition, because you are going to do some activity within specified time and with group of people. So who is doing first, who is doing next is one thing, and who is doing in a better way. So this comparison will help you to become a best programmer. Is there anything you would like to know from here? I mean, until now, is there any questions, anything that you would like to highlight, anything? Come on, speak something. Are you guys speaking? Only I'm not able to hear. Is it like that? Would you like to know anything from me? Forget about this programming. Anything from industries? How you want to? How you want me to share my experience? Anything, any kind of questions or some kind of interaction should be there. Only then it will be a useful session to you and me. Otherwise, it is going to be a usual one. When you go to the interviews, you will be having group discussions, right? In your campus interviews, make use of these kind of sessions to interact. Hello, anybody is there?
Whether in industry the time complexity plays a major role, or whether any solutions are acceptable, ma'am.
Come again. I mean, it's not audible to me. Can you ask again?
I mean, industry, whether a time complexity, a well-coded program is acceptable, or any other a normal solution is acceptable, ma'am.
Complexity wise, you are speaking.
Yes, ma'am. Time complexity.
Time complex. What exactly do you mean by time complex?
If they expect the time complex, time complex code, if a code runs successfully within a second, but other one writes a code with runs within 5 seconds, and if they
Okay.
want,
Understood. You are talking about the speed.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, it is always preferable to have the better speed. The preference is given to the faster performance always. So as you said, for one problem there might be more than one solution. Okay, so but which one is doing fast, that is actually is looked out. So time complexity, when you say this way, it is I take it as speed. So speed is given more importance. Okay, so for example, I will tell you a situation. Okay, the okay, I have been working in a banking industries, okay, for a long time. So I will tell my experience from the banking industry. So banking industry means you can expect me from the back office, not not inside the bank. You think of the banking software that they are using, and the person who is sitting in front of you is a front officer, whoever is dealing with the customer. Okay, and back officer is the person who is approving the front officer's work. And there are people around, behind the scenes, that is called IT team. Okay, so in this perspective, if I'll tell you about the time, how the speed is important. The banks are having, imagine a bank which has millions of transactions. Okay, uh, so it has in one day, if the bank has millions of transactions. Okay, and there is a term called close of business. Okay, every bank closes its business after some working hour. Like in India, we see public banks close by 5 p.m. or private banks close by 8 p.m. So you have some time. Next day, the bank opens around 8 a.m. So this kind of time, okay, this is the available time for to do that close of business operations that is done at the back end. Like you imagine you are getting a loan from bank, and how that loan is being, I mean, interest is calculated for every day, the interest accrual is happening, right? So that all those activities will happen in the close of business. It's a service, you can call it as a service that runs after the banking hours is over. So this should complete as minimum time as possible, so that based on, if the bank is small and number of transactions are small, it will take lesser time. But if it is going to be millions of customers and each one will be taking time to close that, for example, imagine you have 10 funds transfers and everything is happening online immediately, but the close of business activity will take care of the whole business of the set of accounts and its balances and its interest calculation, all those things. These are some simple examples. There are many products available in bank. Each product has its own customers, so all of it will happen over that close of business activity. So this is time bound, it has to get completed within a short span of time. Only then the bank will be able to operate without any problem. It can happen, for example, you have ATMs around, and ATMs will be having transactions even though the cob is running, so it will come and hit the system. So this has to be managed. So always time is very important, the speed is also very important. So this we call it as performance. Okay, the performance of the system is measured in terms of memory as well as the time. Any other
Okay, ma'am.
questions?
I can code, ma'am, but
Yes.
what are the in what ways I can improve my time complexity?
That actually you when you do multiple problem solving sessions, you will get by yourself. Like you go through the algorithms, but usually we do not use all the algorithms that we learn in college, right? So it all depends on your experience, how you are doing the program. So take one by one samples and try solving it, and it will come handy. Nobody will be able to teach you how you can do it in a better way than you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other expectations? What else would you like to know from me? Okay, so yes, somebody is speaking or not? Shall I proceed next? Okay, so from I mean, this would be the last slide. I will be sharing some of my experiences here. Okay, so as I told, when I was in college, we were learning, I mean, doing the programming sessions fully in C. Okay, even with the final year project that we were doing it for the company, that was also in C. But when I joined the same company, we were given assembly language programs. Okay, you will not be expecting that level, right? So you, at least you would have, I mean, most of the time we would be doing programmings in the higher level languages. You will not expect the lower level languages to come in hand and do the programs. So why I'm telling you is this: any kind of language you learn now will help you to understand how the programming logic can be worked out, not the programming language itself. So programming language is a way to the industry. It is not for sure that you will be continuing in the same programming language forever. No, it depends how the situation demands, how the organization demands. Based on that, you will be upgrading yourself, right? So either you learn the new language or use the same language. It depends on the situation, or in which industry you are going in. So as I said here, I was given assembly language because I joined a system software company where they were testing assemblers and compilers. So the compiler's output is assembly language. How the assembly language is coming out of the compilers, all those things we need to check and analyze. It was really difficult in the initial stage. And in the system programming or in the system software, you will not see the result as you see in the application programmings. Like take the example of funds transfer. You see that this account is getting debited and that account is getting credited, right? That kind of real time scenarios you will not be seeing in the system programming. Generally system softwares is helping other system to work, so it is not like you see the application that is affecting the real life in the system software side. So this is one example I'm telling you. You will be given any kind of language, so do not bother about the language that you are learning. You just do that at your best. Second is whichever language you learn or do the program, it is all business driven. Okay, so how it is going to be like if somebody is getting some software, it is to improve their business in some way or the other. So it is all related to the business. So why I'm telling you now is this: I have been a student there, right? When I was studying, I had another peer. She was studying finance course also, accountancy and finance course also, along with computer science. I felt that this girl is really mad. She is studying both. I mean, you can be studious, but doing different. I mean, doing computer science as one degree and parallelly doing it in another institute, like postal or something related to distance education or some kind of scenario. That time she was doing that also. So I was thinking, why should be doing, I mean, she should be doing both. But I did not think of it later. I mean, at that time I thought it is not necessary. Okay, but over a period of time, when you work in an IT industry, you will get to know where you are working. Like that is called domain, like for what you are doing the program. For example, we are as I mentioned in this slide, Amazon and the Flipkart are all those are e-commerce websites, right? So these e-commerce websites are all for doing the business. So you are going to develop a website to do the e-commerce business. So this is how the programming is being used inside the uh, real time real life scenarios. So here the business I mentioned clearly because there are multiple businesses available, I mean possible in this environment where we are living. So here when I say platform is a technical term in terms of technology wise or architectural wise, how you are using that environment to do. And then on top of that program platform, you will be doing the programming to achieve the business requirement. Here I mentioned the term domain because each program or the software is being used in different functional areas. For example, when you say hospital, it is using a software uh, for to maintain the patient's information, inpatient, outpatient, billing, everything. This is called hospital management system. And the environment or the domain is hospital. So this is I mean, in this you will know the how the hospital is working, right? It's a kind of how the business is done in this environment or in this particular business. So that is called domain knowledge. So for example, here I have been with banks, so I know how the banks works. So when somebody is saying I'm doing this kind of operation in bank, I mean, I would be thinking in the background, like what kind of interest rate would be coming for this particular, say for example deposit. There are multiple ranges of deposits available, so each deposit tenor is different, each deposit interest rate is different, and uh, how that calculation will be happening, how that is affecting, I mean, whichever solution you are taking, how it is going to give you returns, or what kind of possible scenarios available which you can suggest in a better way. That kind of thinking will be running in my mind. This I have not known until I started working in a particular business environment. So this is called domain knowledge. So this will come to you once you start working in a industry, in a IT industry. But I'm telling you, there are companies with product and services. Okay, so if you work in a product based companies, that product means some software is used specifically for some business. So when you work in a product based companies, the domain knowledge will be much better. You will be able to gain knowledge from that business. Okay, this is one thing. And if you work in a software or IT services company, these services companies will be giving services to these product based companies. So they will be having different agreements or contracts between different product companies. So you will be jumbling between the domains. So this is one advantage or also disadvantage. When you work in one domain, you will be having business knowledge of that domain very well. But if you keep when you are in services company, you will be keep you may be jumping between, I mean, you will be posted between different domains, so you will be having different exposure. So over a period of time, you may be having, if somebody you will be able to grasp very well, then you will be having different domain knowledges. Or if you are a little slower, then you may be having little ideas about I mean, in everything, little. So these are the two terms I wanted to tell you clearly how you should be taking opportunities. Okay. And for some examples I mentioned here, FT, it's a funds transfer. And then you must be knowing about Swift is a platform where the international transfers are happening, right? So this is a, say for example, you are going to some bank and transferring something and some amount to some other country to somebody else. So when you do that, the transaction happens through Swift messages. It's an organization. So it has, I mean, here comes the interface, uses of interfaces. So interface is something that does not depend on human. Okay, so there is no human intervention. So you put something, you do some activity, and that is hitting somebody else somewhere. So here comes the interfaces uses. And these are all involved in programming. So all that we talk about is programming. So whatever language, just try to improve, and to just try keep doing it and practicing it. We have been given an opportunity when we were in college. We had lab facility every time. In the evenings we used to sit and do. So same should be available to you now also. So even much better conditions should be there now. So try using it, and I hope you will do well. Any other specific topic or question you have on this? Yes. Finally, there are 2 points: ethics and loyal. These two things I wanted to tell you, because there will be situations where you must be thinking, doing programming ethically. Like you, as a developer, we will know where the bug might come, or there might be possibility, but it will go to the testing and it will come back. There is a possibility the tester will not identify the problem or solution. Okay, so that time if you know, I mean, as a programmer, if you pass that testing phase, your work is over. But you should not think like that. You should be loyal to you, and you should have that professional ethics always. Wherever you go, you should follow that engineering ethics. You must be having a subject called engineering ethics later. I think in the final year we had, that you should always have. I will tell you one example. Okay, as Ramya has give an introduction about me. I was working in Kuwait investment company where there was a situation called upgrade of an environment. Okay, so we have done everything possible. I mean, every activity that we planned, and it is up and running. By 8:30, we were seeing it is up and running, but by 8:45 we were seeing there was crash and the environment cannot process further anymore, so it has to be dropped and go back to the previous live environment and stop this upgrade activity. It is a setback, but I was telling this was working at 8:30 and it wasn't working from 8:45. So this example I'm telling you how your thought process should be, okay, to know, I mean, how you should think when the problem arises. So and between 8:30 to 8:45 only the users were accessing system. They did not have access to the background system, and most of the files got deleted because of some malfunction which we do not know what is the cause. And I was the only person accessing the system from background, and my manager came to me and asked, see, Vijay, you are the only person accessing this system and you say that it was working at 8:30 and it is not working at 8:45. So it means that you are the only person. There is a possibility, if this is true, there is a possibility something you did might have caused this problem. So think through and tell me whether it was working at 8:30. So the intention is that he is trying to help me out, and it is an indication to say that the system is not working from the beginning. Okay, but I was very clear that it was working at 8:30. Somebody was accessing it and it was going well. So by 8:45 it is not working and I'm the only person accessing it. Even then it is not true that it was, I mean, if I switch the statement, I might not get into trouble at that time. But I did not say that. I felt, I mean, whatever happened and it should be told the same way. So I told, no, it was working at 8:30, it is not working at 8:45. So later, okay, so we have taken that situation and we said to the management that we will analyze that and come back. Okay, so the live upgrade is cancelled. So it has to be postponed to other two. I mean, we usually do the upgrades during the weekends where the bank is not working. It's a private banking company, so we do not do the upgrades during the working days. So it has to be postponed to other weekend, and we have to give the explanation and write the incident report. All those things, the effects of this failure will come. But then we said, okay, we will analyze and come back. Later we found out the problem is not from my side but from somewhere some component was not clearly, some interface to the Swift system is not mentioned correctly, or the path is not there. So that kind of analysis gave us the insight of what is the actual problem. If I have covered it in the starting that it was working, then when we close this issue with that, then when we do the upgrade again, we will face the same problem again and we will go through that same situation. So whatever you do, wherever you go, be loyal to you and to the company where you are working. So this will help you in long run. So in that situation I told the truth. So from then onwards, whatever I tell, my manager started believing me. This girl will not lie. That kind of trust will keep you in a better position and you will go high. This is the end from my side. You have any questions, you can ask. You guys decided to keep shut, huh? Any intake from this, or anything you have taken from this session? Is it useful or not? Somebody unmute the mic. Okay, so we shall call it the session is over. Fine. Any staff is there here now?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'm myself from Priya from AIDS department.
Okay, ma'am. I'll hand over this session to you.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Okay, ma'am. I'll take leave now. You can close that session. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And thank you, guys, for the patience, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your
Thank you,
valuables.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.